All right, guys, so bringing you the episode you guys been asking for, the doggy bath. How can you make your own doggy bath? So, anyway, this is going to probably be a part one of like a part two because it's not done, but it's usable. For you guys that have been following on Instagram and Facebook, you guys know, my son is on the way. He's going to be here any day. And we wanted to have a separate doggy bath so that we could wash the dogs separately in their area rather than having to bring them all inside and use, the bath that we've got, especially it's particularly nice to be able to have friends and family come over to be able to wash their dogs and, not have to pay a groomer or not have to pay one of those places to go wash your dog. So this is this whole setup alone probably cost me under $150 to $200. This setup here, this tub, if you guys seen a later episode of Breeders Hacks, this is the same tub that I do use for puppies. It's a 110-gallon tub, and you can buy these at Tractor Supply. I would say anywhere between $80 to $90. And now this tub here, what's so great about it is it's huge, it fits, and you'll see later in the episode, I can fit my small micros in here easily, as well as, I got my pet big 110-pound dog that fits in here. So it's perfect for all size dogs. You could go with a smaller tub, a bigger tub. It's really up to you, your preference, what do you have space for. But I'm going to show you the setup as to how we set it up. And, stay tuned for when I show you guys when it's finally finished. So let's get started. After getting in the tub, what you're going to need is, just something extra that I added is, cinder blocks to hold it up. I've seen people use other things. Yet again, I wanted a quick and easy setup that I could either, quickly put up and I could also quickly take apart, and was super cost effective. That was the purpose of this video. So, not only that, so now that it's raised up, the first thing that I did was run the piping. So that's going to be the trickiest part for all you guys. So let me show you guys what I did, and hopefully it gives you guys an idea of how you can run the piping for your setup. Now, quick thing as well, you do not have to run piping. Depending on where your setup is, you could easily just run a garden hose. You can run a garden hose to this thing, and you could use this, outside. It's cheaper than the doggy baths that I seen on Amazon. But anyway, let me show you guys how I did it. Right now we are in my basement, guys. So I mind you guys, I'm not a plumber, but I am rather handy. I do understand simple things, and for me to be able to do this means you guys could definitely do this at home. So we're in my basement right now. Here's my hot water tank right here, right? So I knew that I had a hot and cold line. So this is my cold line, and this is my hot line right here, right? I knew those two things were my hot and cold lines. That's the first thing you'll have to look for to try to find out where can you tap into hot and cold if you want hot and cold for your doggy bath. So all I had to do was take a pipe cutter, and I cut right here where this pipe is, and I cut right here where this pipe is. These fittings weren't here before. You can go to Home Depot, and all the stuff I'm showing you, you can get at Tractor Supply or Home Depot. So more for the plumbing type stuff, I went to Home Depot. And at Home Depot, these are called shark bites. So all I did was cut right where the pipe was here with a pipe cutter that looks like this. And you just put it on the pipe and you spin it around, and it eventually cuts the pipe. And I cut here and I cut here. And these fittings actually just push on. You don't need no special kind of tool, no nothing. They just push right on. And I put a T fitting here, so the water still continues to flow to where it normally needs to go. Same thing on this side, but it also allowed me to take PEX tubing like this, which you guys can get rolls, huge rolls at Home Depot for cheap. I think I paid maybe like $50 for my roll that was able to give me enough to run all the way to where the dogs are. Yet again, it's going to be depending on the distance that you need, but PEX tubing is super cheap. So like I said, I got these two pipes here, the blue and the red, and I also got another shark bite fitting that pushes right on to this PEX tubing that I was able to now shut off the water. In case I ever need to shut it off to where the doggy bath is, I just pull this lever like this, and now the water doesn't go to it anymore. That's the shut off valve. So super simple. Like I said, these fittings legit just push on. You just push them on, and it's called a compression fitting, and it just and that's it. And the water can pass through it, and you have no problems. So now the next step is, once you got you figured out where you're going to be running your water from, which, like I said, is super easy, and you guys can DM me, send me a message if you have any questions. So now with these here, they ran up to the rafters, and basically now I had these kinds of fittings that basically clip onto the tubing and tack it to the ceiling, so then it's not in my way when I'm walking into the basement. So if you guys can look and see this piping, I ran it all the way to the ceiling, and it goes all the way to this corner here, which now I put it to this corner here, where now they sell elbows which allow you to bend the pipe. Same thing, they're from Shark Bite, and you can get the ones that push on. So I got the elbows there, and it made a turn so that now it runs all the way down this way. Let's see if I can show you guys. It runs all the way down this way to where now I drilled a hole over on that end, and that's where it enters right there. So now you guys see where I tapped in to get the water. So now let's head back to the tub, and I'll show you guys more about setting up the tub. So what we did was, after we ran the PEX tubing all the way from the basement, I drilled the 2 holes there, and the PEX tubing comes out right from there, and it wraps around to this side here. I gave extra and plenty of slack to where now it turns, and I elbowed it, and it goes right into here. What I did was I took the drill and drilled these 2 spigots on each side, and then I took a regular mixing hose that you would find like on a washing machine, and you can find these on Amazon cheap. I think it was like $15, and pretty much same thing with the spigots. The spigots, I think each one was like a couple bucks at Home Depot. They sell the mixing hose at Home Depot as well, and I attached that to a regular hose. That's a short mini hose. Maybe it's only like 2-3 feet, and now turn it on, and we got water. So I have is this handle here that goes on that I use for the dogs. Is like a regular gardening handle, and that's pretty much it. So now the next thing is drainage. So now I'm going to change the drainage. That's why I said this is going to be a part 2. This is not done. I'm going to change the drainage because on these tubs it comes with a fitting already here, so the water can go out here, but it gives you about 1 inch of water left on the floor. So I always just kind of tilt it up so it goes all out, and that's the only downside. So I'm going to have to drill something in the center so that the water can drain out, but that's the drainage on it for right now. There, you'll have to get an adapter yet again at Home Depot, and the garden hose, a mini garden hose attaches to it. But that drainage, what it is if you look right here is the fitting. This is how it comes. I attached a small garden hose to it, and the garden hose comes right down and out and goes right into the driveway. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm going to show you guys now. We'll put a big dog in here so you guys can see.